So if you have a for sale listing, it can be in Cincinnati, Ohio, it can be in Shanghai, wherever it is, we want to know about it. Investors from this chapter look throughout the United States and internationally. So again, this is being recorded. And so why don't we start by thanking our sponsors, DJ. So without our sponsors, of course, we wouldn't be able to do this. Our platinum sponsor is CoStar Group. They've been a wonderful sponsor to this chapter, and without them, we couldn't do this. Sharpline, wonderful loan brokers. We've got a number, and I won't go through all of them on this call, but silver sponsors is really an effective way to sponsor the chapter, because it's really not that expensive, and you get a chance to be highlighted on these types of calls among other areas within our monthly programs. So keep that in mind if you need some press. And of course, we've got our bronze sponsors here that you can see. But today we've got David Chen, who I remember when he had hair like this, but his fiance made him cut his hair for some reason. I'm not sure what that was about.
Yeah, push came to shove, you know.
I gotta say, David, I like the haircut. I was never a fan of that. It reminded me of my Vietnam days with all the long-haired hippie freaks. But let's go right to our sponsor highlight. And this will start off the program. And we've got the real honor of introducing Mr. Tim O'Callahan from 10X. And he's going to talk a little bit about 10X. I personally had a lot of good experience with 10X over the years. And I think we're going into a market where this is awesome tool to utilize in your listing presentations. Not only is it going to help you sell the properties quickly, but it's going to help you get more listings. And of course, the quicker you sell them, the quicker you get your commission. And but let's turn it over to Mr. O'Callahan, a nice Irishman that he is.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Jeff. And listen, I don't want to take up too much of your time. The 10X platform can be, described in 2 minutes or 2 hours. So after this presentation, I'll shoot an email with my contact information. You guys, any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. But basically, 10X, just so you know, it's been around for about 14 years, but we were acquired by CoStar about 2 years ago. Think of it as a transaction platform. And if I was to boil it down into, a few words, think about the traditional commercial real estate transaction, and we try to do everything we can to eliminate the inefficiencies of the traditional way of doing a commercial real estate transaction. The first thing we do, and the biggest hurdle to any sort of economic transaction, is pricing. So what we do is we have a team of very, very smart analysts that try to analyze where you and your seller's listing prices, and see if we can help sell the listing at that price. If we can do so, we will help bring it onto our platform. And one of the big things is our transactions are defined. So the transaction process has very specific, time dates. Typically, on average, it's about 100 days from the start of the transaction to close. So that's one of the big differences, is everything's defined. The broker and the seller control the close. The pricing expectations are set in the beginning with the help of you as a very sophisticated brokers and our team. The other big thing is all the transactions on our platform are non-negotiable, non-contingent. Pretty much all of our transactions are in cash. And the greatest thing on the broker side is there's no cost. We do not touch your commissions, the listing agreement. We get paid only if the transaction closes from a buyer's, what we call a buyer's fee or transaction fee, which is a small fee based off the sales price. So that is, if I was to boil it down, that's the 30-second version. I will send out my contact information. I like to say if you have a seller that's realistic, that is realistic about meeting the market, it's definitely worth exploring the 10X process. So Jeff, anything else you think I should throw in there?
Well, yeah, let me just go back to a little bit of our history. I know you weren't with the company back then. I think you were probably with CoStar at that point. I know you switched to your sister company, but I remember I've been around long enough to remember the last cycle of 08 and 09 when really the properties needed to move in a timely fashion. And one of my clients put their building on there. And I remember it was in Westlake Village, a shopping center over on Thousand Oaks Boulevard. And we priced it out at about 13 million. And then 10X said, yeah, we can definitely do 13 million. We see that value. They underwrote it. And we put it on, we did all the underwriting, the due diligence, document, phase one, leases, everything was in the vault. Everything was there. And then we ended up getting three real serious bidders in there fighting for the property. I forget all the final numbers, but I think it went out for like 15 million, and nobody thought we would get that price. The seller was ecstatic. Of course, we were happy because we got our commission. So I wanted to share that with people. And I, again, think we are going to the spot where you'd be well advised to tell your clients that, is your property worth more today than it will be in 6 months? If it is, get real on price. Don't chase the market down. And 10X is the perfect platform to get it done and get it done quickly. And then lastly, I would just point out that I'm using this now as a tool to help me get listings, not only just sell the ones I have, but in my listing presentation. So I will open it up to anybody on the call that they may have a question.
Yeah, Tim, actually, can you give us some high-level statistics on like how much in sales volume and transaction volume and all that kind of good stuff that you guys have done recently?
Yeah, so and I'll send out a follow-up email, but we could, we've been around 13 years now, and so last year we did over 2 billion. And we could slice and dice it by asset type and by geography. And everybody wants their stats a little bit different. I get down to like how many apartment buildings have you sold in this submarket in Portland? So the market dictates a lot of as far as what we sell. I mean, hotels have been huge on our platform over the last few years. I will say the things that we've sold probably the most. Our biggest stat that we promote, and I think is probably most significant to you as a broker and your clients, is the trade rate. And that is the listings that come on to our platform, and we're able to sell at a reserve price for the broker and the seller that they're happy with. Right now, that's right around 70%. So, just to give you a little perspective, before CoStar bought us, it was in the 50s. So just the CoStar effect of the market size, the amount of buyers that we have now, the sophistication of our buyers is bringing up that trade rate. So that's probably the biggest stat. But everybody wants to know the data a little bit different. But we did about $2 billion last year. almost 1,000 transactions. So we have we typically have an auction every 2 weeks, and it ranges from about 50 to 75 listings per auction. So that's the nice thing is, so if you guys bring me an asset or listing, we look at it and we decide to work on it, we will know exactly what auction it's going to go to. It's about 50 days in the future. So we'll be able to tell you what auction it's going to go in. And then the seller, you and the seller dictate the closing terms. Typically it's 30 days, 45 or 60. So it gives a level of certainty and control to your sellers that is just not there in the traditional transaction. So whether it be tax reasons, whatever the case may be, the level of certainty and control on the close is just something that's just, it's a huge, huge benefit for your clients.
Got it.
We had, last thing is, we had a very sophisticated fund out in New York last year that had an industrial portfolio of about 14 assets, and we're talking large industrial properties all throughout the country, ranging anywhere from 50,000 to almost 1 million square feet. And they went to the biggest shops, the East Hills and the biggest guys for this listing presentation. And I'll send you a case study, but basically they ended up using 10X to sell this portfolio. And what they did is, instead of selling the portfolio as a whole, one of the brokers that really knew the 10X platform went in there and pitched using the 10X platform to sell each listing or each property separately to maximize the proceeds. Without getting into very, very specifics, they were hoping to get like 120 million. They ended up getting like almost 140 million using 10X and selling them individually. And they still almost all closed within the same time frame. So that's, another unique way to use the 10X platform is you'll have the certainty of close. Everything's non-contingent, non-negotiable. You control the close date, and you've got, we'll build, a huge, huge market for you. So, like I said, this can be discussed for hours or, just over a cup of coffee. I'm thrilled to be working with CCIM, Jeff, and everybody here. Really excited. Going to be at the golf outing. I'll send my follow-up information. And one last thing is, I've been a broker. I've been with CoStar and LoopNet. What's really unique about the 10X platform, there's no contract. We work with you and your sellers on an individual basis. The very first thing, like I said, is we look to make sure that the pricing is in line with what we think we could deliver. And if it's not, that's fine. We just do not work together on that listing. But the evaluation process, there's no cost, there's no commitment. And we work with you guys listing the listing. So as Jeff said, it's a great tool for brokers to know about and have in your toolkit. So look forward to working with everybody. I'll send out my contact information and hope to see you guys all on Monday for a little golf.
Yeah, no, we look forward to it, Tim. Thanks again. And I will state that 10X, their underwriters are very sophisticated. And you know where their training comes from? Partly is from CCIM. In fact, our own Carmela Ma is going to be doing a training for some of their new talent and old dogs about the underwriting of assets and different very important aspects of pricing properties, because in today's market, we know pricing is key.
Yeah. Hey, Jeff, can I just throw in one last thing? Being new to the CCIM, chapter here. So I deal with brokers all throughout the spectrum, all over the country, but mainly in Southern California and LA. And probably the majority of my job is helping them with listings and bringing them onto the platform. And the way that we do that is we collect, some due diligence and financials, and I present it to our analysts. There is a dramatic difference between working with CCIM brokers and the rest of the flock out there. The level of professionalism, the details, that it's it's night and day for our analysts to get to analyze a presentation from a CCIM broker versus the rest of the group out there. So just a little shout out to the CCIM. There's just a level of professionalism and intelligence and analysis that just separates you guys from the rest of the field. So kudos to you guys.
Well, thank you, Tim. We really appreciate your support of the chapter. We look forward to working with you. You're, again, in my mind, more important than ever. So you're my new best friend. I'll see you on Monday, and we'll go on from here to the actual properties that we're going to be presenting. Have a wonderful day, Tim. Thanks for your support.
Thanks, Tim.
Bye-bye.
All right, so we're going to start off with Jack McCann from Lionstall Investment Real Estate. He's got a wonderful Long Beach property, as you can see. Jack, try to talk about what's not on the slide, what's motivating the seller, what is the opportunity here. Keep your presentation to 3 to 4 minutes, and you are live. Go ahead, Jack. You're muted, Jack.
Jeff, for some reason, Jack did not make it to the call.
Okay.
So I don't think he's here. Maybe he's late or.
We can come back to him if he does end up showing up, but we can obviously see what he's got. So that's good. And wow, this looks like a pretty impressive team here from EXP Commercial. Do we have Ms. Yu on the line? Yvonne Yu?
Yes, Jeff, I'm here. Hi,
Good
everyone.
morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I've seen that bookcase, and I'm going to ask you again, have you read every one of those books?
Those books just try to make myself look smart.
You do look smart.
Thank you, Jeff.
So tell us about your listing in Santa Barbara, California.
Sure. This is the listing with Jeff, and I'm very excited to present this office building. It's in a fantastic downtown Santa Barbara. Easy access to the highway, only 2 blocks from State Street and 2 blocks from the shopping center. Actually, this is a great owner-user opportunity with 90% financing available through the SBA. And the building offers excellent build-outs on a corner lot with plenty of parking, private parking in the back of the building, and 2 staircases to the 2nd floor. There are 4 units in the building, so 3 units downstairs and 1 big unit upstairs. And right now is only the suite A downstairs. Only one of them is tenant occupied. So it is, ready for the new owner to move in. And this building is family owned for a very long time and very well maintained. So we listed for about 3.5 million with 4% pro forma cap rate. And the building size is about 6,000 square feet. We just had our architect measure the building. So yeah, this and it's also on a very, has very visible frontage on the Carrillo Street. Just across the street, it has a shopping center, Starbucks, everything. So yeah, let us know if you have a buyer or if you have any questions. Buy side fee is 3%.
What's the parking like, and what type of user do you think would fit best? Did you say office and retail?
Owner user. This is definitely a very great, owner user opportunity for 90% financing available through SBA.
Do you think the owner user should be retail or office? Is it made for office, or can you also do retail on the first floor?
I think so. Maybe Jeff, you can add on to it. But right now, it's office or even medical office. We're in the process. We had a meeting with the Santa Barbara City Planning and The parking, we have to think about some ways to work with the parking. Right now, there are 10 parking spots in the back of the building.
Mhm.
So yeah, but yeah, Jeff, you want to add anything?
Yeah, I think it's a good question, David. In the past, there has been some more retail type tenants. There was a very sophisticated security company that had all kinds of like securities for these high, high net worth families that have these big mansions in town. And so that was more, again, retail oriented, but the upstairs was a loan broker for years, mortgage real estate guy. So I could see medical office, I could see retail, I could see general office. So it's a very rare jewel box building in an outstanding location. These don't come on the market that often in Santa Barbara. So please reach out to Yvonne or I, and we'll be glad to get you more details on the property.
Quick question on that, Jeff. Long time.
Yeah. Hey, Dennis.
Is this, do you know the zoning on this?
C2.
C2? Okay. How high are the ceilings?
I would say around 10 to 12 feet in most areas. So pretty high. We've got good ceiling heights there in the building. It really feels spacious and a great window line and balconies upstairs as well. It's just really a sweetheart building.
Can it be broken out into different offices and spaces?
Well, it is currently 3 suites of about 1,000 feet each downstairs, and 1 suite upstairs of 3,000 feet roughly.
Okay.
But that's all in the brochure. We can email you that. In fact, DJ is going to mail or email all of you the brochures for all of the listings after the call. But you can see our names and phone numbers and emails during this presentation. So I would suggest that if you're interested in any of the presentations today, to reach out directly to the listing teams. That's probably going to be the quickest way for you to get more detailed data. Perfect. Okay, should we move on to the next listing here? And we have Mr. Colin St. John's, who I've done business with. He's a great broker. And go ahead, Colin, you're up.
Don't see a Colin on the list.
I think
Okay.
Colin is not here too.
All right, we've seen this before. Obviously, it didn't sell last month, but this is in a really good area. I do know this Toluca Lake area. It's a great little apartment building. It's got a bit of some upside. So he's got a nice buy-side free. I've worked with Colin. He's really easy to work with. So if anybody is interested in an apartment building, you can see his name and email and phone number right there. You can reach out to him. Love that area. Go ahead to the next listing. All right. Ara Rastamian, if I'm saying that right. Ara, are you on the line?
Ara also emailed this morning that she couldn't make it to the call. So she has 4 listings.
Okay. So let's just slowly go back through these. So let's go to the first one, DJ. Let's look at this here a little closer. Okay, so looks like we've got a building on East Colorado in Pasadena. That's obviously we can all read that, but it's a add value property and on a hard corner. Looks very interesting. David, do you know where this is?
I do know where it is. It's in East Pasadena on Colorado. I mean, you already said that, but there's not much parking there. I think this is one of those opportunities to do something. I think the cap rate is probably because there's vacancy there, is what I'm assuming. But yeah, I think you would there would definitely be some deferred maintenance and some improvements needed to really bring it to market.
Yeah, looks like R, I think, is a man's name, but it looks.
Yeah, I think Aura is a gentleman.
Yeah, Aura is promoting that. I can see as an SBA deal. So 60% vacancy on the ground floor. So anybody that's working with some owner users, contact Aura. Let's move on to the next one of Aura's. Okay, well, anybody interested in a breakfast burrito? Got a 4.5 cap long-term lease so we got 14 years. Let's see, what kind of credit do we have? Okay, looks like we've got a 60 unit franchisee that is guaranteeing that deal. I sold a Taco Bell, KFC deal like this out of state, and they can be good little deals. So if anybody's got an exchange buyer, I'll just suggest that you reach out to Aura on that one. Okay, what do we got next? All right, Clovis, California, up by Fresno. We have Aura again, which we know is not here. So, but a retail center. Okay. And I know that Clovis is a really good market. Actually, it's quite nice market, and not sure. Let's see. He's saying it's true add value, tremendous upside because below replacement cost. That cap rate is low, so there better be some upside there, and we can all reach out to Aura. There's his name and phone number, email address, if you have any interest in that asset. Next one. All right, another Aura. We know what he's doing right now. He's probably trying to go get more listings. So 29 Palms out in the desert. Looks like truly add value there as well because you've got a short-term lease. So anybody with a relationship with Dollar Tree is probably the key to this one. And I know that, as you can read there, but that's a military town. That's really, and those guys are busy right now. So anybody that knows how to deal with those types of add value, specifically with the Dollar Trees getting that lease renewed, that's where the opportunity is, as far as I can see. But you've got his number. You can reach out to him if you have any questions, or you want to join the Marines, you can call him too. All right. So now we go on to Amelia. Are you here, Amelia?
Do not see Amelia.
Okay, a brand new, beautiful Sterling home. Okay. I'm not sure how that got in here. DJ, we don't present homes on this call, only commercial properties. But if you want to move to beautiful West Hills, you can call Amelia. You see her number there. So just as a reminder, DJ, no residential other than apartment buildings are allowed on the call. Okay, let's go on to Dana Point.
The same thing.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and slide by that one. And then we've got a development site by Robert. Robert, are you here?
Do not see a Robert either.
Okay. So this is a represent. I've heard him present this before a couple of months back. Obviously, it hasn't sold, but I think what he's saying here is that it's really a development site with some, it's a covered land play. It's got a current building and income, but he really sees this as a scrape and build. So if any of you have interest in developing in that area, multifamily, please reach out to Robert, and we will move on to the next one. All right. This one is an owner user opportunity. Do we have, well, we don't, it's Robert again. Okay, so we have he presented these both, but this is really somebody that wants to buy the business and the building and then perhaps even move to the property. It's got that residential unit that the owner has been living in. So keep that in mind if you want to skip out of beautiful Los Angeles and move to beautiful Mentone, California, and try your cooking skills and kind of live a quieter life. You can reach out to Robert. Let's move on. All right. I know Francisco wasn't able to make it to today's call as well, but we've got some land with the proposed development for an auto body shop, and looks like quite a big piece out in the beautiful Hesperia area. That area has absolutely been booming with all the industrial development in the Inland Empire. So you're going to see all kinds of opportunities out in that market over the next few years. I don't think that's going to stop anytime soon, but really ideally for some owner user, it looks like that knows auto body and that kind of business. So we'll move on from Francisco and go to, oh, look at those two good looking guys. We're going to end a little early today because of who we had, but let's talk a little bit about our upcoming classes at CCIM. Again, one of the biggest and best benefits to being this chapter is really the education. I know that when I got my CCI or started on it a little over 20 years ago, I really had no idea of how in-depth and complicated these courses were, but we've got a very famous instructor by the name of Carmela Ma, who perhaps might be, in the later stages of her career, and she is a wonderful teacher, and she's giving this 104, which is our most important class in my mind. The 101 to get started, but the 104 wraps it all up. Coming up in July, right here in LA, in Beverly Hills. So that's on our website if you want to look at that. And if you need your 104 course, I highly recommend trying to get into that class.
Yeah, I think this is the first time in person, since pre-COVID, we're doing a 104. So I think people should jump on the opportunity.
Yeah, I agree. And if you even have your PIN, you can pick this class up as well and do the life after the PIN, as they call it, for a reduced fee, which I'm thinking about doing it. I know Yvonne Yu, who's on the call, she's in this class. So if you want to meet with Yvonne, she will be there. She's very famous. She loves Santa Barbara real estate, and she read all her books. So
yeah, I'm going to sign up for this too, Jeff.
I'm thinking about it too. I'm coming back though from a vacation in Denver, so I might miss one of the days, but I think I'll be there. And let's go on to our very important golf tournament coming up this Monday. We are sold out for golfers, although if you really want to play, I may be able to squeeze you in, but I definitely am going to ask something from everybody here. We've got networking starting at 4 o'clock. It's not just the golf, but we've got the networking. Please reach out to 10 of your closest real estate friends. Get them there. It's a chance to network, meet your broker friends and agents, and really benefit a great cause. Make-A-Wish and a couple of the other charities like Dance for Ecuador, Viet Love. I mean, these are great children's charities. All of them are focused on children. I know Dance for Ecuador is helping children actually that go to school in Ecuador without lunch, or really maybe food for the day, get food. They provide all the food and the infrastructure to provide the food to the students. I don't think I need to tell you what Make-A-Wish is about. So this is all money is going. It's $50 to go to the networking event. So it's not a big number. Drinks and food will be provided, of course. And I look forward to seeing everybody there. Now, we'll close with this. Make sure you present your listings here. Make sure you share it in your office, because I think what we're going to start to find, as our sponsor highlighted early in 10X, is that we need help moving product. We definitely need help moving product. And this is a way to do it. This is a way to communicate perhaps with 1,000 or 2,000 brokers. Now, again, not all of them were on the call today, but they can watch this on a video and they can see your listing. And I suggest you to please start submitting these early in the month. For next month, it's the 3rd Wednesday. David and I will be here again. And I wanted to thank David and everybody for showing up today. David, do you have anything to add?
No, that's it. Golf tournament looks awesome, and look forward to going for the mixer.
Yeah, thank you. No, we just had one of our last committee meeting calls this morning at 8 a.m. So we're all excited. Looks like we're having a great turnout, and we'll see everybody on Monday. I want to encourage everybody to go do a 30 cold calling burst this morning. Before you get another cup of coffee, sit down and make 30 cold calls. Right, David?
Yes, definitely. Only way to make money.
All right. Next brokers forums on July 20th. And David, I'm going to be out of town on that date. I'm going to ask you and Francisco to present. And I know we can talk about that later. So everybody have a wonderful day. And we'll see you next month on July 20th. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, it just didn't work. I just could not. Shit.